Hello and welcome to Rise Above 2K. I'm Gax, here as always with the talent, the Unicorn Big. How are you doing this evening, my man?
So the Pistons are 13-2 and just won their 11th straight. Their franchise record is 13 games, which they've done twice. So let's get pumped for Saturday.
Yeah, it's been a wild time with the Pistons. Everything really coming together, and that's despite injuries. We'll talk a little more NBA later because everyone's dealing with some serious injuries right now. But the good teams like the Pistons are finding a way. And another team I think we're going to talk about shortly here. But before we get into that, welcome to Rise Above 2K. We're a community built around all things NBA 2K and the Unicorn Big's growth through that game, as well as supported by our Discord community. Great community of players who are very dedicated to the growth of the game. If you want to be a part of that, check the show notes. The link to join is there. And before we get into any more of that, we want to give a shout out to Shotties, our sponsor. They have the best jerseys that you will buy. You'll have to look for them on Instagram. It's a big if you know situation. But for those of you who are on YouTube, you see the Unicorn Big wearing a Shotties jersey, looking very, very fine as always. And make sure you go over to there and support them because they support us. So this has been a great week for NBA. It's been a great week for 2K. And rumor has it, and it's not even rumor, it's actually real, that you have rolled out a new build for yourself or some heavy tweaks to the build you were doing previously. What's the story, Unicorn Big?
So I guess I just made a new build like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I was feeling pretty good about it, but I didn't really feel like I could really do what I needed to do in the interior from a defensive standpoint. So I kept the same kind of ideas on offense, but upped my interior defense, upped my block, and upped my vertical. So that way I can be better on rebounds and better when I'm getting driven on in the paint. So
Was it safe to say you felt like Wemby just trying feebly to defend Steph as he jackknifed a three over you, or is this a different situation?
so that would be perimeter. Um, my perimeter's gone down a little bit, but when you're going against a guy who has a really good driving dunk or really good standing dunk, you don't want to just get completely dominated. You want to be able to hold your own. And going into the pro-am, I want to make sure that like I can get my fair share of boards, because some of these guys in pro-am have like 99 offensive rebound, and if you're not doing exactly what you need to be doing, they're going to grab the board. And like in pro-am, when the possessions matter so much, the last thing you want to do is give an extra one to the team. So same type of thing. I've got 93 point. I've got good defensive rebounds. I've got, I think, 90 standing dunk, but I brought my block up to 90. My interior is at 88. And my vertical, I think, is at 82. So just trying to be a little bit more athletic when it comes down to the paint on defense.
Sure. So, before we get more into Pro-Am, because we have a lot to cover there, have there been other benefits that you've seen in your solo queue life, or like just kind of looking out for yourself, or were those the major highlights of really how the builds helped round out your solo play?
So in my solo play, I took my build from black to bronze to gold, or black to bronze to silver to gold in about 3 or 4 days. Um, And then this time, I've gotten my rec record, like it's closing back in on 500. So this time I'm trying to make sure I'm not just going in by myself. I'm going in with at least one or two other players I know that can ball.
Yeah,
A point guard I play with all the time. I mentioned him last episode. He like I trust him so much as a point guard and to do the right things and to pass the ball to me when I'm open.
Hmm.
So it's kind of limited, and he's like a red plate, so that's good.
Yeah.
So it kind of limits my my ability to do losing streaks, and it also helps my ability to have good scoring games. Today we played 2 games in the rec, and I think I went 21 in one and 27 in the other. Um, so getting that scoring average way up, so I'm not just standing there open going like this,
Yeah, waving around.
waving my hand, and the point guard is just constantly doing rib running that he doesn't make or stuff like that. So that's been a huge help. Is like the solo queue is one thing, but sometimes when you don't have good teammates, no matter what you do, you're not going to win the game, right? So we are just I'm getting better just playing with more players that I trust.
Yeah, and I mean we've talked about it before in where I come from in the ARPG space. You need a sparring partner to practice with, and that's more in a one-on-one scenario. But when you get into teams of threes or fives, even just having one person you can consistently communicate with and trust can not only drive your outlook towards the game, but actually allow you to play off of each other. And if you've got two solid options, even if the other three are not helpful or just taking shots all the time, not distributing, you really have a chance to advance the narrative and make something happen. So I'm glad that you found that,
Yeah,
because
and there's another
that's a really
piece
really
too.
powerful tool. Yeah,
There's another piece. So since he's red plate, um, and I'm gold right now.
your yellow uplifts for the queue, correct?
Yeah, so it takes longer to find opponents because the matching system's trying to find opponents that can match against us.
Yeah, yep.
So sometimes I'm going up against a purple or a red plate,
Hmm.
and I've had a lot of games like that lately, and I've really been holding my own defensively. I went against one guy had 70% free point, and he didn't shoot one the entire game because I just locked him down
Wow.
on the perimeter.
Okay.
So I had 2 of those games in a row with like really good guys I was going up against, and I shut them down. There's still some things I would like to work on, but that's the nature of the game and what we're all about here at Rise Above 2K.
Yeah.
So it's also challenging me to like get better on defense, which
Yeah.
is something I really, going into the next season and going into the rest of the cycle. I really want to pride myself on my defense even more than I do draining threes.
It's almost like your favorite player is Rodman or something. I don't know.
It could be. It could be.
No, I love it, dude. And I think that knowing that those are the ranks you want to be in, being able to consistently play there and learn their level is really important because there are break points in the game, and when you get to that next level, it's easy to get funneled out because you're not used to playing that style. This sort of scrap and scrounge for things in the lower plates, man, that can be sticky play, and then when you find your way up, it just doesn't translate properly.
100%.
So that's great. What a good strategy, and something that really anyone who's listening to this and is looking for that step, join our Discord, find someone to queue up with, and let's try to advance the ranks together. Um, but I will say that something that is, in the behind the scene, our text thread, the conversations we've been having have been a lot about Pro Am 5s and how this build has helped you sort of not just build your confidence, but also really, really produce in those games. Tell us a little bit about how that's gone and how the builds relate to that.
Sure. So we're 3-1. Um,
It's
I
a
think
decent start.
last year we started maybe 1-3.
Hmm.
So this year, the players we're playing with are super chill, and we let the point guard basically run the team. He's really good. He's the point guard that everyone can trust.
Hmm.
So we're not bickering over defensive rotations or offensive assignments or plays or anything like that. So that's been super positive. Um, every single team that we have had a chance to beat, we've beat. We did our one loss came against the 13th ranked team in the world. Um, and I put up, I think 21 points, 11 boards, and 8 assists. I almost had a triple double. against the 13th ranked team in the world. And one thing that I've noticed in Pro Am this year as opposed to last year with my build, when I initially built it, I didn't really know what I was doing. Um, this year, I have uh, gold, the strength one. I can't. It's totally slipping my mind right now, but
It's all right.
I have very high strength. I have high defensive boards, high vert, and so I'm not just getting chewed up when I'm going for defensive rebounds. So this is a very good thing. Um, the the translation from this new build, which is just kind of a little change from the last one I did, is really showing up on the defensive end of things in Pro Am. And then shooting, I'm the big, so they're always gonna let me have one or two to see if I can shoot. And I'm shooting about 50% in Pro Am. I think I'm shooting about 65% in rec. And it's a smaller green window in Pro Am, so it's harder to shoot all around. Um, so that's like super big. So overall, it's just been fun because I guess in rec, typically you're playing man defense, like that's what you play unless everyone on your team is in communication, then maybe you might slip to the 2-3. But in pro-ams, you're playing zone like most of the time and you're going back to your same offensive assignment like every single time. And you have to read your rotations. And last year, everyone was trying to teach me rotations during like the actual games and probably getting frustrated because I didn't know what the hell a 2-3 was or a 3-2 was or anything like that. And now it's just like 2-3, you're playing right corner, do what you do. And that's been so much better to where I have trusted myself into the rotations and everything because like I said last episode, we were talking offline about this today, is in June I was too scared to play rec because I was nervous I was going to get cooked. And now, right, we're talking about like a winning record in Pro Am, making a difference in Pro Am, uh, holding my own with rotations and all of these things. So we're getting more and more to where I can play some technical basketball without necessarily thinking about it every single time I'm doing it.
Yeah.
So it's sort of becoming a little bit second nature. Um, so it's just really cool that we've come this far in such a short amount of time. And
Yeah.
when we played that 13th ranked team overall in the world, I was just thinking, you know what? Like, it might not happen this year, but at some point, I want to have a team that's all red plates, that's ranked in
Yeah.
the world, that other teams see, and they're just like, oh, we're about to get cooked. Um, right? Because, like, now that I have a winning record, or we have a winning record on Pro Am, again, I'll shout out Unk, I'll shout out his brother, I'll shout Nolsta, I'll shout out Gigs, I'll shout out Trey, I'll shout out uh, all the players we've been playing with. But
Yeah.
it's just like, this isn't where it ends. Like, what are we gonna do?
No. This is
Just
honestly where it begins.
this is where it begins. This is where it
Yeah.
begins. And now it's just like, okay, so like let's hit it hard. And next season we're gonna play as much pro am as we possibly can. I want to get into tournaments. I want to get better. I want to play the best of the best. Like, getting cooked, getting crushed, like that isn't like a negative experience for me. To me, it's a learning experience.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, Pro Am Fives has been so much fun and great group of guys. And looking forward to getting back on tomorrow because the Spurs don't play and the Pistons don't play and the Red Wings don't play. So I have a night totally open to grind my ass off in the Pro Am gym.
Well, there you go. I mean, that's exciting, and it's funny when you talk about sort of where we've come from, where we've started, and obviously, you've put in a ton of hours, which is always going to help your skill level. You surrounded yourself with very like-minded players and people who are very serious about the game, especially by building your culture from the down cycle. But also, and I don't know how much pressure this puts on you, but about once a week you have to sit down and explain the growth that you've gone through, which I'm sure has its own thought process of, man, I better have something to bring to the table when I sit down with Gax because he's going to ask me about it, I'm sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the whole podcast has kind of forced me back into this place of like, I need to have continual growth. And growth doesn't always feel super comfortable.
We say in the RTS world that you learn more from the losses from the win if you take the time to examine the film and write the notes. The endorphins from a win are always great, and we really enjoy that. It's kind of why we play. But every time you lose, there's something very serious to learn, and if you're serious about your craft, you're going to grow from those losses.
Yeah, and Twitch is a beautiful thing because after those pro-am games, you can just go back and watch a film. Also, we are almost to affiliate level on Twitch, so follow us on
Yeah,
Twitch, TheUnicornBig. I'll be on
love
I'll
that.
be streaming all night tomorrow.
And whether you're listening to this on your favorite podcast format or you're viewing us on YouTube, the link to the Twitch will be in the show notes below. So please jump in there, throw a sub. We'd love to see you when we go live. Um, Lots of really, really good stuff coming, which we're going to talk about in a second. But you talked about the Pistons. Big win tonight. Top of the table, as we say in the soccer culture. Um, and with some injuries abound there as well. 13-2 is a pretty decent record to start the season. For a team that I think people thought were going to be sort of up and coming. We assumed Cleveland was going to be the force to reckon with in the East. What are you seeing that's got you really, really excited as a Pistons fan?
Well, I expanded very much on this topic last week. So this week I'll keep it short and I'll just say, you know, I'm wearing his jersey again. I try to switch up my jerseys every week, every time we get on the podcast.
Sometimes it's hard though when your guy is just
But
crushing.
we're on a roll right now. Duran put up 25 tonight, or 23, I
Yeah,
think. Cade
yeah.
came back from his first game back from injury, put up 25 and 10, no problem. And Duran's last game, he had 31 plus points, 15 boards, and he shot over 90% from the field. There's been 4 or 5 other guys since the merger to ever do that. It's like Dwight Howard, Hakeem Olajuwon,
Yeah.
and Brad Daugherty, and the other name is slipping me, or Alonzo
All
Mourning.
Alonzo
So
Mourning,
3
all
of
great
those
players.
guys are in the Hall of Fame, and one of them made 5 All-Star teams. So like Jalen Duren is just going on a next level. And
Yeah.
then tonight it was just everyone contributing. Chaz Lanier in the second quarter scoring 3 straight 3-pointers out of nowhere. Javonte Green just playing his ass off no matter what position they're putting them on. Azir Thompson coming in with key blocks and key dunks,
He's
seemingly out
been
of
he's
nowhere.
been really, really key for this
Yes,
team. He's
Isaiah
been
Stewart
huge.
just doing
Yep.
what he does.
Yep.
And again, the Anthony Lynn of our time, or the Jeremy Lin of our time,
Jeremy Lin.
Dennis Jenkins.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Duncan Robinson.
Yeah, he's good. But this Dennis Jenkins
Heat
guy who
culture,
just came
baby.
out of absolute obscurity on a 2-way contract, G League last year. Cade's first game back, you would assume, maybe he goes back to riding a lot of pine and that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he puts up damn near 20 points and 7
Just
dimes and no big
just what
deal.
he does.
So
Yeah.
Jaden Ivey is
Into the G League.
into the G League. My guess
Yep.
is probably 2-3 games he's back.
Yep.
What do you
Then I get to
do?
unretire the jersey.
Chris LeVert, he was out tonight. He'll probably be back in a few games. So all of a sudden, you go from obscure Dennis Jenkins as your starting point guard, making an extreme difference, to now Dennis Jenkins is going to be your third or fourth best guard, but you have to
Mm-hmm.
give him playing time.
Yep.
So what does the Pistons roster and their rotation look like in about a week
It's
when
it's gonna be
Tobias Harris is back? Jaden
It's gonna be a
Ivey's
lot of
back.
shared time. It's gonna be a lot of shared time, which is gonna be great because it's a very long season,
It is.
and we don't need to be grinding out minutes on Cade and on Duran and on Ivy. Like that, let's spread the wealth. We know when these guys are out, we can win. So let's manage those minutes a little
Yeah,
bit.
and I think is it Nasty Dogs is what JB Bickerstaff coined this team. Nasty
Yeah.
Dogs. There's some nasty dogs. So until they knock on wood, until they lose a game on the Rise Above 2K podcast, I'm gonna keep rocking this Jalen Duran
Yeah,
jersey.
well, it could be a while, so make sure it gets washed from time to time. But before we get to the Spurs, also important, I do want to note those pesky Miami Heat without Bam and without Tyler Hero, 8-6, sitting in that 7 seed. Just keep your eye out when your two best players are out and you're still holding your weight in the East. Good things could be coming. Probably not, but stay tuned. San Antonio, maybe missing Victor for a little while. Shams reporting that there's a calf issue that could be, quote, a couple of weeks. We don't know what that means. We know that he's out tonight. And 9-4, fifth seed in the West. A lot of games to be played. A lot of really good teams out there. What are you seeing? What are you thinking here?
So if you're looking at the score of the Grizzlies game, don't tell me because I haven't watched the game yet. With the Spurs,
The Grizzlies are bad, just as a side note.
with the Spurs, I compare them to the Pistons, and I feel like the Spurs probably need the whole year to really come together as a team. I think
Okay.
maybe they make it to the second round. But at the end
That's it?
I mean,
If they run into OKC in the first round, sure, yeah, things are gonna get nutty. But
I know we're gonna talk some Steph Curry tonight, but maybe we'll just lead into this.
well, they're gonna have to get out of the play-in if they want to be a part of this.
So, I went to the Warriors game for my birthday, the first Warriors game.
The first one, yeah.
They played on Wednesday, and then they played them again in the NBA Cup on Friday.
Steph scored like 100 something in those two games.
Let me do the math. He scored 95 in those two games. And the first game,
and then struggled to get to 20 against New Orleans.
The first game he was sick. And I was at that game, and it's just like, all of a sudden you look up at the scoreboard, there's 6 minutes left in the third quarter, and the dude has 30. And
yeah, that third quarter was insane.
We got to figure out a way with guys like Curry, guys like SGA, guys like Doncic, like these guards who are like out of this world good. Like, you can't let them break games, because at the end of the day, I don't care if Steph Curry played for the damn Pelicans or the Wizards. If he's throwing up 49 points, they're probably going to win the game. So that's my take with the Spurs right now.
Two quick things is, one, once you figure out SGA, Doncic, and Curry, go ahead and let the rest of the league know, because we're all trying to figure that out too. And two, the Pacers have 13 losses to the Wizards 12, so they're technically worse. But stay tuned. They're still in the 1-win column, so we'll see.
Yeah, the Pacers are bad. They're bad. The Wizards, they're a doormat. They're a doormat.
Yes.
The Pacers, they're a rival of the Pistons, but I almost feel bad for them. Like,
it's tough times in Indiana.
It's tough.
If they brought over Caitlin Clark, they could probably make something happen, but I don't know how those 2-way contracts work at that point.
Yeah. Ooh.
It's real tough times for Indiana. I know we love to give Washington all of the love, but we got to rope Indiana in here too.
And don't forget about Brooklyn.
Brooklyn's bad too. Yeah, there's bad teams out there. They're all in the East, which is good for us, except New Orleans. Well, I guess Sacramento's not good either. Light the beam. Let's talk a little bit more about Steph. That's what we wanted to talk about. Steph is one of I could argue he's my favorite player ever. He's, I come from a LeBron generation of just being wowed by what that guy could do. But the whole 3-point situation, three is worth more than two. The numbers all speak for themselves. Steph he's just been insane for this league, and he gets discounted a lot because, not as many championships as Jordan, or he doesn't do it the way that everyone else did it, and like whatever. It doesn't matter. The guy scores at a just insane rate, and it's something to behold, whether he's just right on the 3-point line in the corner or whether he's cooking from the logo. Like, the guy can shoot it from anywhere and it just goes in. You got to see it in person. What did it feel like in the arena?
Not great because we were sitting behind Warriors fans and
Sure.
in front of Warriors fans. And it was just like, it's annoying because you don't want the Warriors to win. So you're just like, oh, we'll show you. And I think at one point at that game, the Spurs were up. I think they only allowed the Golden State to score 14 in the first quarter. So I was feeling pretty good. Then Captain Clutch comes out in the fourth quarter and just, it was like, eyes closed, one hand from the logo, triple guarded, didn't matter. He was just making literally everything. And
Yes.
it did feel cool, I guess, to watch, you know, more than a first ballot Hall of Famer. More
Yeah.
than that, I think Steph Curry, you look at guys who've
Oh, yeah.
changed the game. I think Magic Johnson, Larry Bird for the 80s.
Does
Um,
Wilt count for before that time?
sure,
Just being
sure,
bigger?
sure. But I think, Magic, Bird, they changed the game to an entertainment style, especially Magic. Uh,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Before that, games where the finals were on tape
Tape delay.
delay and all that.
Yep.
Then I think Jordan, uh, you know, just changed the game from a world perspective and changed
Yeah.
how much people like watching
It
basketball.
was, to be fair, it was mostly Rodman, but Jordan did
Sure,
help.
sure.
So he did
We
help.
can redub the Jordan era, the Rodman era.
The Rodman era.
I'm
Yes.
fine with that. I'm fine with that.
We're on board here at this podcast.
Yes. And I don't think LeBron. Now, LeBron might have. I think LeBron is LeBron, and LeBron's the best player of his generation. But Steph Curry, and there's other guys involved. But Steph Curry's really changed the game. And you're looking at now the way basketball is now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's the way. It's the way now that Steph Curry started changing the game 15 years ago.
Let's think about it this way. We talk about Wemby a lot on this podcast because he's a huge deal, and you're a Spurs fan. If Steph / Clay, we can kind of mold them together a little bit, didn't have that run, would Wemby ever be shooting from beyond the arc? Or do you think that that's part of where the game has gone because they built it that way? And he's like, yeah, I have all these talents. I could do anything I want, but I'm also going to be able to shoot threes because that's what we do.
Yeah.
Everyone. I mean, you hear it from time to time that AAU's completely changed because now kids just want to jackknife threes from all over the place. But it seems to have permeated every style of player, whether you're a point guard, whether you're a shooting guard, whether you're a center. It doesn't matter. Everyone has to have a three involved in their game.
It's really true. I mean, Jalen Duren, for instance, he's one of the few centers that doesn't have a 3 game.
He did it though.
He did it. He made his first the other night. But really, it's just like, LeBron he has a 3 game, and that's maturated over the course of the years.
Yeah. Yep.
And you look
From being afraid to shoot a 2 over JJ Barea to being able to jackknife from out in 3 land. That's
and
quite
now
the
you're looking
transition.
at guys who are shooting, when I think part of this has to do with, it takes guys 2 or 3 or 4 years to get acclimated to the NBA, because
Yeah.
every top player that comes in the league is a one and done from college. Speaking of college, Michigan State romped Kentucky, so that's great. But
We'll talk Mel Tucker next. Stay tuned.
no, we won't. But you look at guys they shoot like 100. Pascal Siakam's a great example of this. Shoots 15% his first year, 18% his second year from three, 25%. Guys are work now. It's Pascal Siakam who's shoots 37% from three. These guys work their ass off. Every single player works their ass off to eventually get better at making threes. It's completely changed the game. And I mean, you just look at the Pistons, and I know we harp on them, and probably a lot of people listening to this have been like, "Man, you guys are already at a half hour, and you're
Oh,
still talking about the Pistons."
yep. We're not going to stop. So stay
No, we're
tuned to
not going to
next week
stop.
for more
We're not going to
Pistons
stop.
talk.
But you look at Ozir Thompson and Ron Holland, man, those guys had no 3-point game, and now like slowly but surely they're trusted on more to make
Getting it.
threes. Isaiah Stewart, like, where did this guy come from on his 3-point? He's shooting 40% this year. So it's all because of the Curry effect. It's all because of the Curry effect. So yeah,
Well, and
hats
I'm
off.
always
It was special to watch him. You hate losing games, but losing to somebody who
yeah.
has meant that much to the game than Curry is pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's amazing to me that he keeps doing it because you just said something like hats off to the guy who changed the game. You make him sound like he's been retired for a decade. No, he's still out here doing it, and yeah, the teams haven't been that great, but they have the ability to win any given game. They have one of the better defensive players of all time on their team. They have Jimmy Butler now. Um, I will say I'm just going to go through some of the stuff that everyone knows about Steph and the reasons why I'm so enamored with him. Obviously, he holds the record for most 3-pointers during regular season, playoff, and NBA final. Single season 3-pointers. He did over 400 3-pointers in the 15-16 season. But I think one that's always going to consecutive games with a 3-pointer made 268. That's pretty wild. But one of my favorite stats that I don't think, well, it's not a stat, but whatever, record, he's the only NBA player in history to be unanimously voted the MVP. That's pretty special because we've had some just knockout seasons from some of the best players in the world, and no one's ever walked away with it unanimously, so that's pretty cool. And I always say that it's not just the threes. He's an incredible shooter overall. His career free throw percentage is over 90%. He just doesn't miss. The guy, and what I always tell my kids about hockey is the goal never moves. It's always in the same spot. So if you're used to shooting for that one spot, you just trust it's going to be there. And when I think about Steph, the video, I mentioned earlier, but the video of him shooting that 3 over Wemby, he couldn't see the hoop. He's got 7 foot of guy right in front of him, so he just looked him in the eyes and trusted. I know where the rim is. It's gonna go in. It's gonna be fine. And sure as shit, it went right in. It's incredible. The guy's incredible.
I mean, I guess my favorite Curry moment that I can remember in the last couple of years is in the Olympics.
Yeah.
The last part of that fourth quarter against France, when it was kind of a tight game, and it was like wherever he wanted to shoot, 30 feet out, 35 feet out, it did not matter. Like, didn't matter how much he was guarded. It just didn't matter. He was going to make those 4 threes no matter what. So, so I'm sure when Steph Curry listens to this podcast later.
Yes. Shout us out, man.
Shout us out because you're a legend, and it was a pleasure watching you dice up our Spurs on Wednesday. So thank you. Thank you, Mr. Curry.
Yeah. And it's not the last I'll talk about him, I'm sure. Very excited to get our pod shouted out on his social media. It's going to do big things for us. So looking at this week, obviously you said you have an uninterrupted night to really get after it tomorrow. You got a whole weekend ahead of you. What can the people look for from the Unicorn Big in terms of 2K this week and this weekend?
So I would say I'm in a really good place right now.
Yeah.
I'm excited to play. I've got good teammates. So that means one thing. That means Pro-Am. Rec, we'll use that to warm up, but
Oh yeah.
I'm going to be on Pro-Am. I'm going to be streaming. The Rise Above 2K Pro-Am 5s team is rolling hot right now, and that's what I'm going to be doing. Going to Michigan on Sunday for Thanksgiving. I'll be up there for 8 days. Do you think I'm going to stop playing? No, I'm bringing my PS5. And I will be streaming from my dad's house. I will be streaming from my in-laws' house. Watch out, because I really feel like this is the beginning of the next step, not only for me, but for Rise Above 2K in general. So let's get it.
Big things coming. Stay tuned. Hit like, hit subscribe. We are going to be here. Also, go to Instagram and follow Shotties. Buy some jerseys. They're the best in the business, and you're going to love what you find. We're very excited about the things to come this week. I'm so excited to sit down next week and talk about where things have gone. Unicorn Big, thank you so much. And for everyone, have a great evening. We'll talk to you soon.